What I want to do right now is ask you guys a very, very powerful question. And that question is, when was the last time you took a break from being you? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because it's something that happened to me today. So today, I was at the gym, and when I'm at the gym, I usually have a good network of people that I talk to. And there's one person in particular, he's about like a 23-year-old kid who he always comes up to talk to me about advice. He always wants advice from me. I kind of mentor him in a way. He's a trainer. He loves talking to me. And as he was talking to me, and I love talking to this kid because he has so much energy, and I feel like it rubs off on me to where like his enthusiasm starts to rub off on me to where I want to go out and do stuff too. And usually our relationship is kind of like me being the mentor and him being the student. And in that moment, I wasn't feeling too well. What do I mean by not feeling too well? I wasn't all there. And because I wasn't all there, I wasn't my usual, let's say, Yoda like self, my usual mentor like self for this person, for this kid. I could literally feel my ego, my mind, my self identity with this kid. I could literally feel the way I identify myself with this kid. I could literally feel it trying to take over. And it was saying to me, hey, man, say something. Because for the most of the time, I was just listening to him and I was kind of like mute. And I just wasn't in the social groove. And it was getting to the point where I wanted to get out of there. I could literally feel my body starting to get really, really agitated because I didn't know what to say. And usually this kid expects me to be some charismatic guru with life-changing advice, and I'm able to make him see the world differently and make him see things and see possibilities. And in that moment, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And it made me think about a movie. The movie that I thought about was a movie called The Black Swan. Now, The Black Swan is a movie I watched about 18 months ago. And it's basically about a dancer. I think her name was Nina. And basically, Nina, she had to play a role. She was a dancer. There was a performance coming up, and she had to act as the white swan and the black swan. So basically, the white swan was perfect. It was together. It was well rehearsed. Whereas the black swan was more of the shadow. It was more flow. It was more dark. It was more let go. It was more in a state of release. And Nina, if I remember correctly, if that was her name, she had issues with being the Black Swan. She had a hard time being the Black Swan because Nina was a girl that practiced every single day for hours. Hours. She was super well rehearsed. She always wanted to get things perfect. And she had a really, really hard time with this. And halfway through the movie, I remember this exactly. Her mother, who was a control freak, by the way, but her mother had asked her a very, very powerful question. And the question was, when was the last time you took a day off? And when the mother said this, I remember I was watching it with my girlfriend. I literally paused the video and I just reflected on it for like 10 minutes. Like I literally paused the video. Like I'm the kind of person that's kind of annoying to watch a movie with because I'm always trying to grab some deep meaning from every movie I watch. I don't care if it's a cartoon or a Disney movie. I'm always trying to grab lessons. And I remember I paused it. And I'm lucky that my girlfriend doesn't mind doing that because most people, if they watch a movie with me, I probably frustrate them. But I remember I paused it and I reflected to myself, when was the last time I took a day off from being this character that I think I am? And it happened today. Like I was amazed, like the kid's talking to me, and he's super excited. And for him, he probably doesn't even recognize it, but for me, I could feel an internal battle of my ego, my self-identity, trying to take over because I'm supposed to be the guru to this kid, the mentor, the Yoda. He's Luke Skywalker, I'm Yoda. I have all this great advice. And in that moment, I had absolutely nothing, to the point where I could feel my body getting super, super agitated, to the point where I was trying to figure out a way to get out of there. And of course, the kid, he didn't know this. Because most of the time when we're talking to somebody, what are we thinking about? We're just thinking about ourselves. So he's probably not even paying attention to how I'm feeling. But I feel how I'm feeling. And it made me think again, when was the last time I took a day off from being this self-identity, this ego that I believe I am, this character? And it makes me realize, because I'm aware of this stuff, why everybody's so tired, why everybody's so insecure, why everybody seems so lost. Because basically what the ego does, what this character that we're trying to be tries to do, it tries to fit in. And not only does it try to fit in, and this is why the character is so much in conflict, this is why we're so tired. Not only does it try to fit in, but it also, this is the paradox. It also tries to separate itself from the tribe. What do I mean by that? There's a part of you, and this is human biology. This is the way our brains are wired. There's a part of us that depends on the approval of the tribe. This is the reptilian part of our brains. But there's also a part of us, which is the mammalian part of our brains, the emotional side of our brains, that wants to be different, that wants to stand out. And because these two parts of the brain are always in conflict, one part of the brain is trying to stand out, one part of the brain is trying to fit in, this is why we always feel stuck. We always feel tired. And in that moment, I was trying to fit in with the kid as he was talking to me. I was trying to be there. But at the same time, there was a part of me that wanted to stand out, where he already identifies me, or I believe he identifies me as some type of mentor, and I have to be a mentor for him. I have to give him the right advice. And going back to the movie, when was the last time you took a day off? When was the last time you took a day off from being who it is that you think you are? Because all of us were trying to fit in somewhere. We have tribes, groups of people that we try to seek approval of. And I see it all the time. You see it online. A lot of times today I see it particularly in people's stories where they probably post like political stuff that I personally know. Like these are people I actually know that don't actually believe in what they're posting, but they need people to see that they are part of the team. It's kind of amazing. Like I know who this person is. I've spoken to this person. I know what they're posting in that moment. That's not what they really believe, but they're trying to let the people in their peer group, the people they've identified with, let them know that, hey, I'm on the team. And for me, it's super cool to watch. It's super cool for me to go through, because even though in that moment, I could literally feel my body getting super, super agitated. I could feel my ego trying to take over. Like, hey, either you're going to be a mentor or you got to get out of there. I was able to stay present with that energy. I was completely able to stay there, to the point where once the kid got done talking and he left, and I could see just by him talking to me, telling me the stories that he was telling me about the things that he was doing, I could see that he left feeling good, because I stayed present with not only him, but I stayed present with what I was going through, which was my ego trying to take over. Because the ego, the thing we identify with, our self concept, the character, the avatar we play in this matrix, likes to be in control. Like if you guys ever pay attention to a lot of my posts, it's all about letting go of control. Not always feeling like you need to hold it together. Because what happens is when you try to always hold things together, the body gets a toll taken on it to the point where we're all feeling exhausted. So what do you got to do? Would you like to take a break from being this avatar that you think you are? How could you do it? Well, the first step you got to do is realize that you are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not your past experiences. You are the witness to all of that. So right now, you might be having thoughts. You might be like, what the hell is this Chinese guy saying? Realize that for the most part, 95% of your thoughts are not even yours. They're just happening all on its own. That voice in your head that's constantly yapping, a lot of us identify with that voice. And because we identify with that voice, we feel like that voice in our heads is the absolute truth of who we are. This is what people mean by when they say, I need to speak my truth. And I kind of hate that saying these days because speaking your truth is not the actual truth. What you got to learn how to do, and this is something I did with the kid, is when he was talking to me, I realized what was happening. I realized my ego was trying to take over. Hey, you need to be a mentor. Hey, you need to take control of this conversation. Hey, you need to give this kid miraculous advice, because every time you talk to him, you leave him feeling inspired. He wants to go and take action. But what I did in that moment, I realized there was a conflict going on. I just stayed present with it. I stayed open to it. That's one of the phrases I say almost every day. Stay open to this. I noticed that there was a disturbance going on in my body. I noticed my mind was getting distracted, and I just watched it. So how do you practice this? Right now, notice the voice in your head. What's it saying? You could consciously choose right now to control it. Say hello mentally inside. Say hello a few times. Hello, hello, hello. Now, as you're saying hello over and over again, mentally, notice the space it's coming from. So close your eyes, just say hello, 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 and realize that the voice is coming from a space of stillness, a space of energy, a space of source, the source of who you are. I have this huge saying that metaphorically speaking, we are the sky. We're not the clouds we're not the clouds that it passes through in the sky. We hold space for the clouds. We hold space for the storms. So if you look at your thoughts and your emotions as clouds and storms and realize that you are the awareness behind it, you are the actual sky. This is when you could actually start taking a break from being you, or from being the thing that you actually think you are, which is the ego, the identity, the thing you've identified with, your self-concept. This is why typical self-improvement usually doesn't work. Because what happens is we try to work on ourselves, when instead what we should be doing is letting go of ourselves, letting go of who it is that we actually think we are. So in that moment, when the kid was talking to me, and I could feel this voice, I could feel this thing trying to take over, the ego, I sat there with it. I gave it space. I didn't resist it. I didn't try to push it away. And I didn't try to let it take over and express it. I didn't try to do something. I just stayed present with it. And I was able to stay present with it and stay present with the kid as he was speaking to me. And I felt this air of lightness just come up. It was like this energy start to shoot up. And it was pretty cool for me to experience because I realized that a lot of us, we need to take a break from being who it is that we think we are. So like even for me, every time I start a video like this, I can literally feel the voice in my head say, hey, what are you going to talk about? Make sure it's good. Make sure it's good enough to post. Make sure you rewatch it. Make sure you sound cool. And now I've learned, because if this was like 2 or 3 years ago, I would have probably scripted out every single word, every single point. I would have had a bunch of edits. I would have tried to put things together, cut things out, where now I've kind of learned to be the Black Swan. The Black Swan that the girl was supposed to be in the movie, where it was free flowing. It was open. It wasn't perfect. It allowed itself to just be. And in that moment, when I was speaking to the kid, I wasn't perfect, but I noticed it. I was aware of it. And it was pretty cool for me to experience. So for you guys, so for everybody that's made it this far, when was the last time you took a break from being you, from being your ego, from being this self-concept, from being this character, from being this avatar that you are in this matrix? And if you think about it, you probably haven't taken a break from it for quite some time. And this is probably why you've resonated with the page, my page, because a lot of it is just about letting go of this ego, because the ego is the reason why we are suffering. So if you want to stop suffering, if you want to take a break from being you, if you want to have more energy, I suggest you practice this. Notice when there's something trying to take over and realize you don't have to react to it. You could consciously choose to respond to it. And that's what this is all about, is learning how to respond. So in that moment, I gave my chance an opportunity to sit with it, allow whatever fuzziness was coming up, whatever funniness, whatever disturbance, whatever distractions that were coming up, I allowed it to come up and I stayed present with it. And I was able to respond to the kid to the point where I didn't even have to do anything. I was just able to be there with him. I was able to stay present with my ego. And it felt really, really nice. It's almost as if like I just let my hair down. I just let it all go. It doesn't have to be in a perfect bun no more. And it feels nice to actually learn to let go. So I'm gonna end there. I don't know if I made sense, but who cares, right? That's the whole idea. So if you made it this far, I hope you found it valuable. And of course, as always, leave any feedback in the comment section. Peace.